What's up, guys? Wonder Bro here. Are you struggling with intrusive or bad thoughts that you don't want? I'm starting to sound like one of those commercials.
If you or a loved one was diagnosed with mesothelioma,
If you are struggling with intrusive, negative, bad thoughts that you simply do not want to be having, they are causing you a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, and just overall, they are just messing with your day-to-day life. You want them gone. The first thing you don't want to do is to try to force them away. And that seems very unnatural. We don't like these thoughts. They're bad thoughts. And when I say bad thoughts, it could be a number of things. Whatever you consider a bad thought. There's some people that struggle with sexual thoughts they don't want, violent thoughts they don't want, thoughts that disturb them, thoughts that scare them. It doesn't matter exactly what that particular thought is. Anyway, like I said, the first thing you don't want to do is try to force them away, and that does not feel right because you don't like the thought, you don't want it, so of course it only feels right to try to not think it. But in trying to not think it, you're actually just giving it more power, and the cycle just gets stronger. So in doing what you think is right by trying to force forgetfulness, you're actually doing what's wrong. It's not really helping you. What you need to do with these bad intrusive thoughts that are very common with anxiety is you need to observe them. When you observe them and you become okay with their presence, you realize that a thought is just a thought, right? You are not your mind. You and your mind are two different things. The mind is like a big fancy computer, okay? And you can reprogram it how you want. However, that takes time and dedication. So when you have these thoughts and they pop into your head and you don't like it, what you don't want to do is run from it. What you don't want to do is try to forget it. What you want to do is take a step back. Take a breath, take a step back, observe the thought, be okay with its presence even though it makes you uncomfortable. Observe the thought for what it is, just a thought, imagination in your head, and realize that you are not your thoughts. Because you had a thought doesn't mean you're okay with it. Because you're observing the thought doesn't mean you're okay with it. You are not your thoughts. Your thoughts pop up all day long, thousands of thoughts every single day, some positive, some negative. You are not those thoughts. That is just something that's happening subconsciously in your mind, okay? That is a product of your imagination, and you can't help that you're having certain thoughts. And the only reason that you're so disturbed and upset by these thoughts is because you would never actually act on them. You would, you hate the thought so much that it's bothering you. Okay, so that's proof enough right there that you shouldn't worry that you're having these thoughts. Should not worry about it. You want them gone. That's proof that you don't like the thought. So don't beat yourself up for having it. You didn't make the choice to have the thought. The thought just happened. They happen subconsciously. It is not your fault, so do not feel bad for having negative, intrusive thoughts. That's just a part of anxiety. That's a part of the mind. And you, like I've said, are not your mind. So don't feel bad about it. But if you do want to get rid of these thoughts, you need to stop giving them power. You stop giving them power by simply observing them. You don't argue with them. You don't fight with them. You don't follow them. You don't go where they want to take you. You don't try to debate with it like, no, that's not true because this or that, or that's bad because this or that, or you don't do that. You simply let it be. You don't fight with it. You don't argue with it. You don't try to change it. You don't do anything with it. You just let it be. Now, it's okay to be a positive person. I talk about positivity all the time. It's okay to have a positive outlook, but don't try to argue with your negative thoughts and try to be positive about them. Be a positive person in general, but as far as anxious, anxiety thoughts go, and you know the difference, okay? As far as these anxious, intrusive thoughts go, don't even fight with those. Don't even bother. It's a losing battle and you're only giving them more power. Observe them instead. And that can be uncomfortable at first, but the more you do this, the more the thought loses its power because you're showing your brain that it must not be important because you're not giving it a reaction. You have a choice with what your reaction is. And as soon as you start turning that reaction into one of an observer rather than one of someone who is scared or fighting against the thought, your brain realizes that the thoughts are no longer needed. okay, because you're not giving them importance. So that is how you get rid of intrusive negative thoughts, guys, and don't feel bad about having them. You didn't have them. You didn't make that choice. Your mind did. You can't control that, okay? But I just explained to you what you need to do to start moving in the right direction away from these thoughts, guys. And I really hope that helps you. Start putting it into play. It's not instant relief. None of what I teach is really instant relief. This takes time. It takes time to reprogram your brain with acceptance and observing and just becoming the observer of your body and mind. It takes time for these things to register with your subconscious. So don't get demotivated right away as soon as you're not seeing instant relief. But give it a few days, give it a week, give it a month. And I know that's asking a lot because you've suffered so long already. But it is totally worth it, guys. But you have to be dedicated. Dedication is key here. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope it helps someone out there. If you did, make sure to leave a like because it means the world to me. Comment if you have anything to say. I love to talk to you guys. I love talking to you guys all the time. It means the world to me. Anytime you comment, share this video out with anyone who you think it may benefit. And as always, thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of the family. 1K Club recently. Still very proud of that, even though it's been a little while. Very, very, very proud of that. Anyway, guys, until next time, as always, stay awesome. Much love.